WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Enough is enough, and it's time for a change!
I can't believe I'm putting my voice to this.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Thank you for your irrelevant opinion.
And now, here's your host of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon.
The first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say. I'm a broadcast journalist. I have a right to my opinion.
Oh, son of a...
I am the best on this microphone, in that ring, even in commentary.
There's the sound of the bell, and we are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. I'm your host, Fearon Derry, alongside Lucas the Intern.
How you doing, guys?
Ever attentive as always, and Nick Cataldi.
Hey.
Pushing the buttons, turning the dials, keeping us on the air here. Man, jam-packed show today. Coming up in the second segment, I have the interview that I did a mere couple of days ago with WWE's Titus O'Neil, and had a little bit of laughs and some very powerful, serious stuff as well. Stuff I had no idea. I had no idea was coming my way, and in typical me fashion, I had no clue how to react. Yeah. Not even a little bit.
And right now, I've got a little bit of surprising news as well concerning, again...
You're quitting?
No, not like that. No. That was a good one, though. The way to try and trick me into that. It's funny, Fearon. That's
what I do.
We have a bit of rumors going around about about CM Punk, that apparently he may be a surprise entrant, maybe the final entrant in the Andre the Giant Battle Royale.
Now, where did you hear this? Or is this just rumor, hearsay, gossip, scuttlebutt, and
most of the stuff going on have been rumor, hearsay, scuttlebutt, gossip, you know?
Most of what?
Well, let's think about it. We heard in a rumor that Daniel Bryan was going to face Triple H at WrestleMania and the winner goes into the main event. That happened. Just saying, if that can happen, bring back CM Punk. Imagine that.
Well, it's also been rumored year after year after year that Sting would face The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but that's different. I mean, the Sting...
Because it's a rumor that didn't come true?
No.
That's what makes it different?
No, because Sting's been in TNA for a while. Like, CM Punk is still... we haven't seen him go anywhere else to, like, any other companies. So, technically, we don't know whether or not it's a work or anything. You know... at this point,
people are still going to cling to it. I mean, it was rumored he was going to show up at the Raw in Chicago on March 3rd. It's going to be rumored that...
you were the one that said, watch out for that one.
Well, I said it was going to be an interesting show regardless, and you had the whole hijack Raw scenario where Raw hijacked the fans instead.
Yeah.
So there's a lot there's a lot going on in that regard. So I mean, the rumors are going to show up through WrestleMania. If he doesn't show up there, the rumors are going to be payback in Chicago in June. I mean, there's a number of different possibilities.
Yeah, I feel like, and you know what, at this point, it's just like, you know what, it's CM Punk. It's CM Punk. I'm mad and happy and sad and angry at the same time. I just threw two of the same emotion in there, but you know, it's just like, it's CM Punk. What are you gonna do?
Your emotions are so askew that you're mentioning them twice.
Yeah, it's what are you gonna do? It's CM Punk.
Oh, talk about other stuff, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can't stay mad at the guy forever.
Are you convincing yourself of that?
Yeah.
A little bit?
Yeah.
I kind of had that hunch. Well, since this just hit me in text and messaging and everything else, I guess I'll pass this along. Today is apparently your last chance to get your 1-week free trial to the WWE Network. And that offer ends at midnight Eastern tonight. And there's a whole link basically to go to WWE.com, and they'll get you all squared away with the network. For those of you who haven't signed up for it in the last month, I have a feeling there are a few of you who haven't yet. I don't know. I was on the fence, but I ended up buying into it, and I'm glad that I did. I'm okay with it. Now that I've finally caught up on the episodes of OSW Review, I can actually start perusing some of the content. A big fan of Countdown.
That's actually really good. It's fun.
Yeah, although I do have a beef with the one they did this past Wednesday, and we'll get into that in a little bit.
The backstabs.
Yeah. Well, they have the list of the 10 biggest backstabs in wrestling history.
It was because of Sonny, wasn't it? Because they were trashing your girl Sonny?
No, that had absolutely nothing to do with it.
Okay. Just checking.
And they weren't saying anything that wasn't true about Sonny. I mean, she did go from team to team to team back in 96, 97. Yeah. I mean, the facts are there.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that in a little bit. One thing I want to get into, let's go ahead and take care of this now, because I'm never good at these things, and I figure the best way to do it is to get right into it. Why don't we take the first caller now, put the intern to work here picking up the phones. I've got a pair of tickets to tomorrow's Road to Wrestlemania show at the Sun Bank Center. To the first caller in now, 215-949-3232, or toll free at 888-922-2149. We'll send Lucas, the intern, off mic for a little bit, and we'll have him write down your information. And
we would like you to be within the area of
yeah, I guess Dan from Chicago is not eligible, unless he's planning on flying out to Trenton for this.
Dan Lutzka. I think I said that right, Dan Lutzka. Just don't call.
Dan from Chicago.
Dan from Chicago. You don't need to call for this. We're not paying for your train tickets. They're just tickets to the show, okay?
Train? He'd have to hop the train now to get here by tomorrow.
I meant plane. I apologize. I don't know why I said train. Oh, my God. I'm out of it today. I'm just, it's just, you notice, yeah.
You sound about as energetic as I usually do. Usually you're the one carrying me. You are, what have I said before? More of an example. All you need is the neon and checkered pants, and you could be high energy.
Yeah, Owen and Coco.
He's been doing his WWE Network homework.
Yep.
Interesting.
The race.
Well, speaking of contests and giveaways and things, want to win the chance to go to WrestleMania and help out a great charity?
Yes, I do, sir. Continue.
Well, Mick Foley is teaming up with the Rain charity to hold a raffle for Mick Foley's WrestleMania 30 Dream Vacation for 2. Tickets are just $2 a piece, with a minimum purchase of 5 tickets, so you need to pony up $10. And the winner will receive, get all this, round-trip airfare from anywhere in the world for 2 to New Orleans, 4 nights lodging in a New Orleans hotel within a mile of the Superdome, 2 great seats to any session of WrestleMania Access, as well as the Hall of Fame induction, WrestleMania 30, and Monday Night Raw the night after. Tickets to Hardcore Legend and Evening with Mick Foley, an exclusive meal hosted by Brie Bella and other surprise divas. That's right up your alley.
Oh, yeah. We're meeting Nate. Pony up. I'm ponying up.
You want in the contest?
Oh,
now?
Yeah. I want to meet AJ
You want in the raffle?
Yeah, I want to meet AJ Lee.
An exclusive
At this point, Punk can go screw himself now. I'm going to meet AJ Lee.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, good.
For this grand prize. An exclusive breakfast with Mick Foley. Also, $1,000 in spending money. Can't go wrong with that. VIP packages from Ring of Honor, Dragon's Gate, and WrestleCon, because they're all going to be in the area. Because anytime, whatever WrestleMania city there is, a lot of the other promotions tend to gravitate and have other events. It was that way when I went up to cover WrestleMania 29 last year. There were 3 other conventions within a 3-mile radius of MetLife Stadium and the Izod Center, and it's no different here with the Superdome in New Orleans. But there's also 2 VIP tickets to Ringside and Evening with Jim Ross, a signed Velvet Sky poster, and as they put it here, with a personal hug from Velvet, the ear-to-ear bleep-eating grin that Lucas just had on his face. I can't even put into words any better than I just did. And a DDP yoga workout with Diamond Dallas Page himself. Bang.
Oh, we are both ponying up. We're ponying up more than $10. We're putting in. I got like a crap load of money for my birthday, so we're going to win that contest whether Mick Foley likes it or not.
Wow, way to channel that one kid from SummerSlam 92. In the very beginning, he goes, "The British Bulldog's going to win whether he wants to or not."
Oh, yeah.
It was a great quotable.
Oh, yeah.
Love that.
Team. Let's go. Rock and Sock Connection part.
Really?
No, yeah.
Oh, goodness.
I mean, come on.
To enter the raffle and more information on RAIN, visit RAINN.org. Hurry, the entry deadline is this Monday night, March 24th. So you may want to break that piggy bank of yours.
Oh, that is not a piggy bank anymore, sir. I used the force to smash it at my house. My mom's picking up the pieces right now. And I just mentioned her again. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm going to stop that. She doesn't like me mentioning her on the show for some reason.
Probably because every time you do, you get in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, you get in trouble for a lot of different reasons. All right, let's get into we'll get into some news and notes right away here before we'll get to the interview on the other side. Titus O'Neil coming up. A TNA knockout announcing her departure. Laid Tapa, indicating that her run in TNA is concluded. They build her up as this monster. Not that they've done much of a building. I mean, their build was equivalent to a 3-year-old with Legos. But regardless, she noted on Twitter, when one door closes, another door opens. Thank you at Impact Wrestling for giving me the opportunity. And also adding on Twitter, to answer some of the fans, don't believe rumors. That's why they're called rumors.
Oh, shut up. Shut up.
My departure from TNA was left on a good one. Don't believe rumors. That's why they're called rumors.
Shut up, please.
All right, I'll move on. Well, I can't shut up because A, it's my show, and B, listening to silence would be kind of not good for radio.
Okay. I don't know. Can I do the next one? Next news story, I guess?
Because you haven't talked enough on the show. Sure, go for it.
I see how it is. No, go ahead, Fearon. Take your show back. I see how it is. John Cena up for a role in a Judd Apatow movie. Yeah, I picked that one. Okay, you're not getting the spotlight taken away, baby.
What?
John Cena is in talks to join the cast. Join the cast of the film Trainwreck that was written by comedian Amy Schumer. Okay.
Yeah, you got it right, Amy Schumer.
I don't really like her that much. The film will be directed by Judd Apatow and is scheduled for July 24th, 2015 release. Schumer is slated to star in the film and at one point was dating Dolph Ziggler.
Is that why you're not a big fan of her?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
I like Dolph Ziggler. I don't find her. I mean, she has some funny bits, but she's just like, she sort of makes. She makes, I don't know how to put this. She's very full of herself.
Something that you two have in common.
Oh, that's it. Oh, my God.
Also, Dish Network not carrying WrestleMania 30. Not really a surprise, considering it didn't carry the Elimination Chamber, but Dish Network issuing a statement to the Augusta Free Press that will not be carrying WrestleMania 30. They said, and I quote, "Please note that WWE is not willing to adjust pay-per-view costs to satellite and cable companies, which is unfair to their customers. Dish needs to refocus efforts to support partners that better serve Dish customers, and other satellite and cable companies, including DirecTV, have also expressed they may no longer provide WWE pay-per-view events in the future."
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, Dish Network?
Just let it go. Just punch out.
I'm sorry.
You tried to pull the sounder up. You didn't quite have it there. And, yeah, just punch out.
I'm a failure. That's why
it's just not a good day for you.
This is why I'm interning and not getting paid. I don't think that Matt would want me working here full-time.
As I've said before,
doesn't want a lot of us working here full-time. We are here.
Full-time, part-time, anytime.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot to go with this. Also, WrestleMania. Here's some news for you. They're going to have a 2-hour pre-show.
Wow.
WWE announcing WrestleMania 30 will be preceded by a 2-hour pre-show starting at 5 p.m. Eastern. The first hour of WrestleMania 30's pre-show will feature analysis of the action-packed card from a star-studded panel of superstars past and present. You can tell this came from the WWE website. Along with on-the-scene interviews featuring superstars preparing to battle on the grandest stage of them all.
Are you not entertained? I'm sorry. That's what it felt like. Preparing to battle? It sounds like something out of medieval times. And I'm not talking about, like, the actual Dark Ages. I'm talking about, like, the place in New Jersey with the giant turkey legs. Yeah. And the regret. And, okay.
The regret?
I liked it, but I don't know. I'm trying. Never mind. I'm done. I'm done. You can have your show back.
Thank you. The first half of the WrestleMania 30 pre-show can be viewed on WWE Network, WWE.com, the WWE app, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and Feed. Then at 6 p.m. Eastern, the pre-show continues exclusively on WWE Network, where the All-Star panel will continue to break down the stacked WrestleMania lineup. In addition, the action will begin with an exclusive pre-show match. So is that being done in an attempt to entice viewers to buy the network? As like a last-minute push, like, well, you'll only get half the pre-show if you don't buy the network.
What I'm wondering is if they're going to put all the shenanigans just into the pre-show and then the rest is just wrestling. I mean, that's just what I'm wondering.
My guess is that the availability on the network of the pre-show and the reason for 2 hours is to give themselves a buffer just in case they get overloaded and something goes wrong, despite WWE expressing confidence that, oh, we got this, there won't be any problems, there won't be any bugs like the first couple of days. But, I mean, this is WrestleMania.
I can only imagine when they're saying that Finley's holding a gun to their head, just like, oh, yeah, everything's fine, please don't kill me. Just too far?
Why
Okay.
Finley?
I don't know, because he's mean.
I mean, he loves to fight, but he doesn't love to shoot.
I don't know. He came from Belfast. It's a rough part of Ireland.
Although I haven't seen any shoot interviews with him, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Horrible pun is horrible. Okay.
Wow. I think I'm not the only person that's sort of off the rails today, my friend.
Yeah, but I'm off the rails every week. What's your excuse?
Okay, then it must be contagious. You need to get a vaccination, sir.
All right, I'll get a vaccination. We'll take a commercial break. I'll get disinfected, and we'll come back, and we've got the Titus O'Neil interview coming up, as well as room for your calls, Facebook feedback coming up in a little bit. This should certainly be interesting.
I need a drink.
More news and notes. You got like 5 more years for that. And we'll talk about, we got notable birthdays coming up today in wrestling history. We'll talk countdown, the WrestleMania 30 lineup as it stands now, and maybe some TNA, maybe not. We'll see. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Groans from everybody everywhere. It's like, lol, Cena wins. Here we go.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your host, Fearon Derry.
It's like mentioning Beetlejuice's name 3 times. You know, just bad things happen. Indeed they do. Like apparently the need for a vaccination. Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you. A couple weeks before WrestleMania. I don't know. Is it because I'm tired or is just I don't feel enthused? Like you'd think 2 weeks and a day before WrestleMania I'd be geared up, I'd be excited. But on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, oh my God, I can't bleeping wait, and 1 being yawn, snore, snooze, I'm maybe at about a 4.
You know what the funny thing is? Nobody's called in for these tickets yet. We need some people to call in. I mean,
well, maybe it's my listening audience. They've already hooked themselves up with the tickets, so they're already set. So they're not.
Wow,
that's all right though. More leg room for those who are going. Got to look at the bright side of things. At least try to.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Mania 30 lineup, I'm still... I don't know. I mean, let me run down the card with you and see how you feel. I mean, like I said, where are you at on a scale of 1 to...
Oh, we got a caller.
All right, you go ahead and take care of that.
Pro Wrestling Weekly is calling.
Yeah, you take care of that. I'll run down the WrestleMania 30 lineup. First of all, there's the Andre the Giant Memorial 30-man Battle Royal. Participants so far, 17 of the 30 names have been revealed. And those 30 names, we've got, of those 30 names, 17 of them revealed. We've got the Intercontinental Champion Big E. We've got Dolph Ziggler, Fandango, Alberto Del Rio, Damian Sandow, Christian, Sheamus, The Big Show, Mark Henry, The Miz, Goldust, Cody Rhodes, Kofi Kingston, Heath Slater, Jinder Mahal, Drew McIntyre, and Titus O'Neil, who we'll be hearing from in a little bit. And, 13 more names still to be released. Looking forward, I guess, to that. I don't know. Also, you've got John Cena against Bray Wyatt. That's kind of a juiced-up match so far as interest, things like that. Also, The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar, the streak against the Beast. I don't know. I think they need to do a little bit more of that. And then Triple H and Daniel Bryan, the winner goes on to the triple threat match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, which would be Randy Orton, Bautista, and the Triple H Daniel Bryan winner for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I would imagine they're going to add a couple more matches just because I don't think all that is going to take 4 hours.
Yeah.
4 hours for 5 matches.
There's going to be a bunch of unadvertised matches.
Either that or they've got to roll them out in the next couple weeks.
I would really love, though, to see them build up storyline for all of the matches in Mania. That would be at least for Mania.
You would think.
Yeah.
All right, something we should do, just looking at the timing of it. Let's go to it now. Let's get to the interview that I conducted earlier this week with WWE's Titus O'Neil. 1490 WBCB, Pro Wrestling Weekly. We're here with Titus O'Neil, WWE superstar, getting ready to talk about, well, this is just a great time in wrestling in general. You've got the road to Wrestlemania coming this Sunday to Trenton, as well as Wrestlemania coming up in a couple weeks. Titus, how are you?
I'm excellent. How are you, Fearon?
Not too bad, hanging in there. Just so many things to, I guess, talk about. I don't know whether we want to talk about, well, I guess we should talk about you first, because as big as you are, I'd get my butt kicked otherwise. So, yeah, definitely. I mean, just coming off of, well, I guess we'll go back to the beginning. How about that? How'd you get started in wrestling? What made you want to get into wrestling?
Well, it's been pretty well documented. Dave Bautista, who's a very close friend of mine, kind of encouraged me, about getting into the business. But I was actually more inclined to want to go into coaching, and I was driving in South Tampa one day, and he had told me where the developmental system was, which was FCW at the time. Now it's called NXT. And I just walked in the back door and said, hey, I'm interested in becoming a WWE superstar. Who do I need to speak to? And they told me, well, Steve Kearn's the guy you're going to have to talk to, but he's not here. So you're going to have to come back. We have a show this evening if you want to come back to that. So I went and got my kids from school, asked them if they wanted to go to a wrestling match. We went to the wrestling match, and afterwards, I said, well, I asked my oldest son, TJ, well, would you want me to do this? And he said, absolutely. And so I talked with Steve, and about 15 minutes after I left the facility, WWE called me and told me they were going to let me try out. The rest is history. So I had no intentions on becoming a wrestler, and if I wasn't picking up dry cleaning in South Tampa, I probably still wouldn't have been wrestling.
How about that? Now, did you watch wrestling as a kid at all, or did?
I watched it every Saturday morning with my grandmother. It was a religious activity, to say the least. Nobody could talk, go outside, do anything. You had to sit down, watch wrestling, and eat. She always cooked a huge breakfast for us that day, and we were allowed to watch the Smurfs. We watched He-Man, and then after that went off, wrestling came on, and it was wrestling time.
Smurfs, He-Man, and Superstars. Sounds like a perfect day.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a couple of years younger than you, so that sounds pretty much akin to what I did. Same type of deal. Now, what was the transition like going from football to wrestling?
Athletically, the transition is about the same. It wasn't as hard because you're still running and jumping and things like that. But now you're trying to do it and operating within a 20-by-20 ring. And I was a defensive lineman, so I was accustomed to operating in short spaces. So being in condition and stuff like that wasn't the issue. It's just learning the psychology, which I'm still learning, developing as a character. All these things take time. People say, you want to be the next Rock, you want to be the next Stone Cold Steve Austin. No, I want to be the next Titus O'Neil. I want to be the present Titus O'Neil. I draw a lot of what I'd like to do and the success that I'd like to have from those guys. But at the same token, people have to understand, including myself, that was a process with them too. They didn't just become The Rock. They didn't just become Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was a process. And that's what I'm in right now, is the process of becoming the person that I want to be in this business. And I look forward. I'm enjoying the journey. It's been very up and down, but it's been an enjoyable experience, to say the least.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun checking you out, seeing that progression. I mean, going from, as you said, FCW to NXT. Actually, I did want to kind of get into that a little bit. The what felt like the winter up here in the Pennsylvania area, the endless season that was NXT Redemption. What was that experience like?
Well, it was supposed to go from between 6 and 8 weeks, and it ended up going over a year. And so I wasn't complaining because it gave me an opportunity to be on the road every week, and also, repetition and practice, doesn't make perfect, but it definitely puts you in better position to be experienced. And that's what I was lacking and still am lacking and for the most part, it's just experience. The more you do anything, the better you're going to get at it if you have an aptitude to learn. And so NXT Redemption gave me that opportunity to grow as a character and become more and more comfortable in the ring, more and more comfortable behind a microphone, more and more comfortable on commentary, more and more comfortable in every aspect of being a WWE superstar. So I'm very thankful for that extra time that was supposed to be 6 to 8 weeks being extended, because it gave me an opportunity to grow as a performer.
And boy, did it grow! 15 months. That's a lot of development, to say the least. I
was the John Cena of the NXT brand. I would carry the brand.
That's not a bad tag to have, definitely.
Not at all.
Now, speaking of tags, you spent a good amount of time over the last year and a half or so, up until recently, as part of the Primetime Players. Obviously, I know things have gone a bit awry since then, obviously leading to not necessarily a blow-off of the feud, because it's still going all the way up through this Sunday, in fact. We'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, this Sunday you're taking on Darren Young.
Yeah, I've still got some more ass-kicking to give out to him before Wrestlemania. I need to practice and get ready for this 30-man battle royal. So, yeah, I'll be there on Sunday, tuning up with Darren. Obviously, he hasn't learned his lesson yet. He keeps coming back for more, so I'll be more than happy to give him some more.
And I think a lot of people are certainly looking forward to that. Now, you're part of the 30-man Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal coming up at WrestleMania in a couple weeks. I believe this is your first WrestleMania as far as being on the card. How does that feel?
Yes,
what was your reaction when you found out that you were going to be part of it and be on the Mania card? I mean, that I can only imagine what that reaction is. Kind of like,
I'm still very excited because I've been with the company now for 4 years. It's always been a goal, to be on the card in any particular way. But to be in a Memorial Cup celebrating one of the most dominant big man, if not the most dominant big man to ever be in WWE, in an event as huge as WrestleMania 30, being hosted by Hulk Hogan himself. All the great legends will be back. All eyes are on the product at that point. I'm going to a place where I won a national championship in New Orleans in the Superdome. It's just a lot of surreal feelings about this situation. It's the hard work and the long hours at NXT and FCW. And there are people that have been with this company for years, longer than I have, that never have that WrestleMania moment. So I'm very honored and very excited about this opportunity coming up.
Oh, that's terrific. Now, if you'll indulge me for a moment, a few of our listeners had chimed in on Facebook with some questions, wanted to kind of throw some rapid-fire ones at you. I don't know how much time you get a chance to watch on the road the WWE Network, which I know just came out a little under a month ago, but do you have a favorite program on the network?
I don't have a favorite program per se, but I would say the one that's probably going to be the most interesting to me is Legends House. I look forward to seeing the entertainment on that with all those characters.
The Legends meets the real world.
On the network.
That should be fun. That's coming out shortly after Mania in a couple weeks, I believe.
Correct.
Right?
Yes, that's what I'm looking forward to is seeing Legends House.
There we go.
But the content that's on the WWE Network is second to any other library of any sorts in the world. So I can go and pull up stuff. My kids were watching, I think, last week, and they were playing the Royal Rumble from last year. on there when we logged in, and that was my first Royal Rumble. And so it was pretty cool to see me run out there at number 7 and be in the mix with everyone. The network is definitely one of the coolest things that could have ever happened to any WWE superstar, because now you can go back and relive all kinds of memories, not only of yourself but of people prior to you even being born.
Oh, that's awesome. Here's another question: who were your influences growing up, either inside or outside of wrestling?
Outside of wrestling, I would say my mom has been my biggest influence. She had me at a very young age under an unfortunate situation of circumstance of rape. She was raped. She had the opportunity to abort me, and she refused to do it, even though everybody around her was telling her she should. And she worked hard. She worked hard to try to provide a life for me, and we didn't have anything growing up, in realms of what I have today. And she believed that, she believed in me, and she believes in family. That's just kind of one of the things that drives me to want to be such a great father to my kids. So I've never met my biological father. So I would say my mom, probably a couple of my coaches along the way. Coach Spurrier has been, obviously very influential with me. Coach Billy Donovan has been really good to me too. With the head coach of the Florida basketball team. I can always call him up if I'm needing some advice on certain things or help on something. And it's been that way since I left Florida and when I was at Florida. So I would say those people outside of the ring are the most influential. And then inside the ring, Mark Henry, The Big Show, Big Batista, obviously, of course. John Cena's helped me a lot. Randy has helped me a lot. Dolph Ziggler, just about everybody's been very, very cooperative in trying to help me develop as a performer since I've been here. And it's built on respect, and I think I've earned a fair amount of respect from people, considering I never wrestled a day in my life coming into this company, and now, I'm getting ready to perform on the biggest stage of them all at Wrestlemania. It's an honor. And I wouldn't have been able to do that without the help of those people.
Wow, it's kind of hard to follow up after something like that. I mean, all that's absolutely tremendous. I mean, to think there was a possibility that you may not be here at all, and now, I mean, here you are, as you said, wrestling in Wrestlemania, and just going all over the world.
Yeah, very, very humbling.
So I feel bad. The last couple of questions I have are a lot less serious by comparison.
That's fine.
All right, one that was thrown out here. Do you have a preference, either Xbox One or PlayStation 4, rather? So from one of our video game listeners, big. Yeah,
that's not a question for me. I don't play video games.
Not one of the video gamers. Oh,
I used to be in college. Yeah, I used to be in college. My kids play the hell out of them now, but I don't play them.
Okay, so you're going back to like the N64 those days. I got you.
Yeah, I don't have time. I'm trying to become a champion in this company. I don't have time.
All business. I kind of like that. And the last one was thrown out here, and I almost feel a little bit ashamed to ask it. But what was the deal with Rufus Pancake Patterson?
Oh, that's my uncle. Yeah, he. I enjoy the opportunity to entertain, and obviously, if you watch Monday Night Raw this week, see I enjoy entertaining. Period. That's what this company is. We wrestle some, we entertain a lot, and I think that for me, a thing that has always been very important to me is to be relevant. And sometimes, as long as people are talking about you either way, you're going to stay relevant, good or bad. And I just like to have fun, so that's how that character came about.
It certainly was fun, and it definitely got a lot of people talking. Something else that, we're getting a lot of people talking this Sunday. That's right. WWE Live Road to WrestleMania. It's coming up this Sunday, the 23rd, 5 o'clock start at the Sun National Bank Center in Trenton. Tickets are on sale now. You can check them out at the Sun National Bank Center box office as well as ComcastTix.com. A great lineup. As we mentioned, Titus O'Neil here. You'll be taking on Darren Young, Sheamus and Alberto Del Rio, The Shield and the Wyatts in a six-man tag match. If it's anything like Elimination Chamber, that's going to be off the hook. And then, of course, for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, something that Titus is looking to be going for soon enough. In a steel cage, nonetheless, John Cena against Randy Orton. All this just 2 weeks before WrestleMania 30. It is a great time to be a wrestling fan right now.
Awesome time to be a wrestling fan. Even more awesome time to be a Titus O'Neil fan as well.
It is. Now that you're on your own, you're looking to ascend to great heights, and we're certainly looking forward to it here at WBCB Pro Wrestling Weekly. Titus, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate you giving us a few minutes of your time here, and looking forward to seeing you this Sunday, as well as at the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal coming up at WrestleMania 30.
I appreciate your time, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Titus O'Neil. How about that? Amazing interview. Definitely threw me on a few roller coaster curves, to say the least. I mean, it got serious, tried to have a little bit of fun with it. It's like we always do here on the show.
PlayStation, Xbox question. See, we wouldn't have had that problem if we had gotten AJ Lee. I'm not being like, no, I love Titus O'Neil. He really has a lot of guts to go out dressed like a leprechaun on Monday Night Raw like that. I mean, but he's there to entertain, you know. I'm not trying to disrespect or anything. I'm just saying.
I would hope not. I mean, he's 6'6", 271 pounds.
I am afraid.
He'd be a toothpick by comparison.
Yeah, the funny thing is, like, that's just one of those weird questions. That's like saying, like, do you like pancakes or waffles? Just one of those off-topic
Well, considering that he was Rufus Pancake Patterson, you'd figure he'd have to go waffles. All right, we're...
Okay, now we're
all right, bring the phones up.
I did like that, actually.
Let's get Ed the Showstopper up here. Ed, what's going on? Save me from this madness.
We also have in AC tonight with a 7:30 p.m. bell time WWE.
Okay, you want to do a little double dip action? All right, they're Atlantic City tonight, and they'll be in Trenton tomorrow.
Yeah, and Rikishi's in the FWF this next weekend.
Yes.
And down well.
I'll talk a little bit more about Rikishi coming up in a little bit. It's got some other stuff going on.
House of Hardcore is coming to the National Guard Armory.
Oh, they're coming back.
Yeah.
I know they had their House of Hardcore 2, and it was a great show. I got the chance to attend that.
AJ Styles, Team 3D, and Tommy Dreamer so far.
Very nice. Now, when's that going down?
June 7th.
Okay, coming up in June. All right, we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for that.
And the arena is taking bookings for wrestling.
Yes.
As well as MMA and boxing, too.
That's good to hear that they're keeping that going on. Anyway, I'm up against it. Thanks so much for chiming in, Ed. Always appreciate the look at the local scene from Ed the Showstopper. Anyway, let's take care of some business. We'll come back and we've got Dan from Chicago hanging on. We've got more news and notes. Still a lot to get to.
Wait, Dan from Chicago? Oh, I'm in trouble. Oh, that's not good.
You very well might be. And before we do so, let me throw it out there, not too quick, because we've got to get the important things out there. Ed mentioned Rikishi. Well, Rikishi will be right here in this area next Saturday, courtesy of our friends over at George's Cards and Collectibles. Former WWE superstar Rikishi will be at George's in the Oxford Valley Mall next Saturday, March 29th from 1 to 3 p.m. So tune in to us from noon to 1, and then make your way on over to George's at the Oxford Valley Mall and check out the Big Quiche.
Dun, 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 dun. That's the wrong theme song. I apologize.
You were going Booker T there or something. The following Saturday, as if that wasn't enough, the following Saturday, April 5th, the day before WrestleMania 30, former WCW World Heavyweight Champion Big Van Vader scheduled to appear from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m.
Vader time.
Yes, it is. Or at least it will be that day. And then the next week, WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan will appear at George's in the Oxford Valley Mall Saturday, April 12th, noon to 2 p.m. For more about the upcoming appearances, including ticket information, you can find it out by calling 215-943-2475, or you can visit them online at georgescollectibles.com. It's the important things I kind of have to roll through them,
Yeah, I understand.
The friends that help keep us on here. It's an important deal.
Yeah.
I'll tell you more about that during the break.
No, I understand.
All
I
right.
understand. I'm just trying to make some funny quips, so usually they aren't that funny, so.
Admission is the first step to recovery. While we recover here, we'll pay some bills. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, March 22. On this date in 1993, WWF Monday Night Raw aired live from the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City. In the main event, Tatanka fought Bam Bam Bigelow to a double disqualification. On this date in 1999, WCW Monday Nitro aired live from Panama City, Florida. In the main event, Ric Flair defeated Rey Mysterio Jr. On this date in 2010, TNA Impact aired live from the Impact Zone in Orlando, Florida. In the main event, Jeff Hardy and Rob Van Dam defeated James Storm and Robert Roode in a tag team match. This has been Today in Wrestling History, March 22.
This is Jim the Anvil Neidhart of the Hart Foundation, and you're listening to Pro Wrestling Weekly with Fearon Derry on 1490 WBCB, baby. Yeah!
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you alongside Lucas the Intern.
Yay.
And Nick Cataldi.
You stole my line,
That was the goal. Just saying.
A crook, eh?
Oh, hell. Thank God there's 7 minutes left to go in this. All right, let's get to the phones.
You'd be one of those rule breakers in wrestling in the ring, wouldn't you?
Not the only person that needs a drink today, Fearon, am I?
I can neither confirm nor deny that alleged allegation. What I can confirm is that we're going to the phones. Let's get to Dan from Chicago, who's been waiting ever so patiently. Dan, what's going on? Save me, please.
Lucas, first off, how do you know I'm not in Philly in your lobby waiting for my ticket? I want my ticket.
Because it's in Trenton.
Well, that and we have a window that looks out to the lobby, so we'd be able to see you. I mean, Nick Cataldi, his peripheral vision's pretty Hawkeye-like, so...
I want my ticket, Lucas.
You denied.
Wow.
Wow. But yeah.
Going to the Andre the Giant over the top rope battle royal, I feel Hogan's going to win it.
Really? You think Hogan's going to...
I think Hogan's going to body slam Andre the Giant's son, the Big Show, and win the battle royal.
I don't think Hogan's back at this point can handle that kind of load, no matter how many surgeries he's had.
Something will happen and Hogan's winning that battle royal.
I feel like Punk's going to come in and win it. Why isn't anyone backing me up on the Punk thing?
No, Punk will... I actually thought that Punk was going to come in this week on Raw and defend Daniel Bryan and fight Triple H so that way Daniel Bryan could get the title shot. That's what my first thought was. You can stick up for Daniel Bryan and said what you did last week was wrong.
And I feel like what could happen though is if Punk returns and once Bryan wins the title, Punk comes in and he hits the GTS and then that's the heel turn. That's it. Because they could really build off of the like Paul Heyman saying you did this to him. You're the reason. Like the crowd is the reason he left.
But if he doesn't come back in the next few weeks, he's done. I think he's done.
Mania, I feel like Mania or Payback is his deadline.
No, I think Mania. After Mania. See, I think he kind of screwed himself by going on Talking Dead on Sunday.
Well, I mean, it certainly garnered a lot of ratings.
Yeah, it was the highest rated episode.
It was, the third highest ever, but they still got almost 5.5 million viewers.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That is insane.
He didn't really talk that much, too. He was just sitting there, and that's what got them,
he looked really nervous. Me and my wife watched Walking Dead anyway, so we watched the show afterwards every week, and he looked extremely nervous in the very beginning.
So I feel like this could be a work. Sorry, Fearon, you can have your show back. I apologize.
No, I know next to nothing about Walking Dead. So
just look at the flowers, Lizzie. Just look at the flowers. Just that was.
And they blew the brains out. That was pretty cool.
That was that's.
Look at the flowers and follow the buzzards. All right, I need to follow the buzzards.
Good one. Wow. Wow.
That was a.
But the other thing I wanted to talk about, too, was I was watching the old school Raw on the network, and very interesting with going back to the TNA with the Aces of 8. The Dudleys were playing cards with the APA, and they were Foley Radio was sort of stuttering gimmick at the time, and at the end of the cards, game of cards, in the final scene, what cards do you think he drew?
Aces and eights.
Yeah, how crazy is that from 1999?
The amazing coincidences that are in professional wrestling.
I thought I was like, whoa, that was pretty cool. But that was a good Raw anyway, with the whole Test trying to marry Stephanie and then Triple H.
Yes, the drive-through wedding.
Yeah, I do.
That was fun. I've noticed something about Bully. He lost a lot of weight, Bubba Ray. Dudley, Bully Ray, whatever you want to call him, he lost a good amount of weight.
And he has the best calves in the business. He'll tell you.
I just can't believe his all of a sudden babyface turned. That company, I wish I could use some potty mouth language on this programming, but I know we can't.
Please don't.
But,
yes.
Yeah. What garbage? Garbage.
Yes, garbage, malarkey. Yeah, there's a lot of things to say.
How are they still in business? How?
Dixie Carter keeps pumping money into it, I guess.
My brother seems to have this conspiracy. He doesn't even watch wrestling. He seems to think this conspiracy theory that WWE owns Ring of Honor and TNA for some reason.
No.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I told him.
Yeah, no. All right, Dan, thanks so much for chiming in. We only got a couple minutes left. All right. A notable segment that we've added on here. Quick note of birthdays. Actor William Shatner, former Monday Night Raw guest host from back in February 2010. Remember him singing the different TV theme, or wrestler entrance themes, rather, including Shawn Michaels, which was hysterical. And also a guest on Jerry Lawler's The King's Court interview show back in Raw of January of 95. He turns 83 today.
He's 83?
He is 83.
Shatner's 83.
Holy Shatner, indeed. Wayne Bloom, best known as Bo Beverly of the Beverly Brothers in the WWF, turns 56 today. Jimbo Covert, an offensive tackle for the Chicago Bears in the 80s and participant in the 20-man Battle Royal at WrestleMania 2, the Chicago portion naturally because he played for the Bears, turns 54 today. Raimundo Mendoza Jr., better known as WCW Luchador Villano 5, turns 52 today. And Terry Gordy Jr., best known in WWE as Jesse of the tag team Jesse and Festus, as well as Slam Master Jay. You're still in shock, apparently.
He looks...
Turns
Shatner
35. Yeah, I know. I wish I had his aging. Anyway, that's going to just about do it for us. Special thanks to Titus O'Neil for the interview and the folks over at the Sun Bank Center, Bill Redner for helping out with the tickets. Congratulations to John from Levittown. We've got a pair coming your way. Looking forward to you being at the show tomorrow night. And we'll talk about that next week, as well as hyping up the big Quiche. Rikishi, he's going to be over at George's Cards and Collectibles. Talk a little bit about that. A week away from Mania, what developments will there be? We'll find that out, and we'll see what other insanity has made its way along, and see who else is in the Hall of Fame, joining Mr. T. He's pitying fools, and he's a Hall of Famer. I know you're too young for Mr. T.
No, I know Mr. T.
You know who Mr. T is?
Pity the fool. You know, A-Team, Clubber Lang, and Rocky 3.
Well played.
Mohawk Grenade.
Maybe I should try Mohawk. No, maybe I shouldn't. What I should try? Getting off the air, because we got Phillies baseball coming up here on BCB.
1490 WBCB, Levittown, Fairless Hills, Trenton.